What if I told you that the way we talk about purpose is a lie? Every year, I meet young people who believe that they're failing, not because they lack talent or drive, but because they haven't found their purpose yet. And it's not just them. Many of us carry this quiet fear. What if I never find my purpose? When I started teaching physics, I used to draw arrows on the board. Just arrows, representing forces. At the time, they were part of equations to solve. Visual representation of questions that needed answering. And as time went by, I began to see those arrows differently. They were more than just about physics. They were about life. Because each of us is a force, full of energy, talent, and potential. But if we don't know where we are aiming that energy, it scatters. So today, I want to address a particular myth, the myth of purpose, and offer us a new way of looking at it. From a young age, we are told, find your purpose. It sounds inspiring, like purpose is a hidden treasure somewhere out there, and if we search hard enough, one day we'll stumble upon it. But the reality is often the opposite. I've had young people come to me with tears in their eyes, whispering, what if I never find mine? What if I'm just lost? These are gifted, hardworking young people. They can build robots, organize communities, run successful projects in refugee camps. They can write poetry that stirs the heart. But because they haven't had that lightning bolt moment, they believe they've fallen behind in life. And it doesn't just end in youth. Many of us move through life with great energy. We do hard things, achieve amazing things without clarity. I've spoken to professionals who've climbed the ladder, gotten the degrees, built families, and still wonder if they've missed their one true calling, or if they'll ever find it. The myth is this, that purpose is a hidden treasure somewhere out there, and if we search hard enough, one day we'll stumble upon it fully formed, and from that day on, everything will make sense. But the truth is purpose isn't something we find, it's something we construct. Piece by piece, with our passion, our values, and the things we are willing to try. As one of my students once reminded me with a line he saw in a car advert, quoting Abraham Lincoln, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So how do we construct our purpose? Those arrows that I used to draw on the board, they're called vectors, and they are used to represent things. Things like force, displacement, and motion. And I believe they can offer us a new way of looking at purpose. Looking at it for what it really is. Your vector can represent two things: who you are and what you want to do. Who you are speaks to the things that energize you, your strength, your passions, your talents. And what you want to do speaks to your vision, your values, the impact you want to have on the world. And when you take who you are and what you want to do, and you put them together, what you get isn't just potential. You get motion. You get a vector that you can apply in the real world. I've seen this happen time and time again. As a kid growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor, because that's what smart kids do. They become doctors. But I didn't go to med school. So, as you can see, I'm not a doctor. Instead, I was introduced to engineering during my gap year by one of my high school teachers. I fell in love with it. So, I studied, I got the degree, and while I was working in the mines, I thought I had found my purpose. But as time went by, these questions grew louder. What energizes me? What impact matters the most to me? What small steps can I take to align the two? The answer came not in one moment, but through action. Tutoring students, running workshops, helping others succeed academically. That's what I did. That's the vector I applied to the real world. You see, purpose isn't fixed. Like a kaleidoscope, every rotation reveals a new pattern. Every small step you take builds your vector. So how do you construct your vector? A vector has two things: magnitude and direction. Magnitude speaks to the size of the vector, the strength of the force, your energy, the things that come natural to you, what makes you feel alive. Direction speaks to the way of the vector. Where is the force pointing? Your vision, your passion, the impact you want to have on the world. But to have a fully constructed vector, you need a third thing: activation. You need to answer this question: what small steps can I take to align my magnitude and my direction? You see, you don't need all the answers. You don't need to have it figured out. You don't need to risk it all like I did. When I was constructing my vector, I realized that the two things that I enjoy doing, the things that matter to me, and the value I want to see or add to the world rather, were through education. So I decided to become an educator. That decision didn't receive a round of applause. It didn't go unchallenged. People were doubting me. People thought I was doing a mistake. I was making a mistake, rather. They asked questions. So you're going to leave engineering just to become a teacher? What about all the time you spend in varsity? All that money? So you're just gonna waste it? I remember one of my old friend's mom saying to me, she doesn't think I should leave a high-paying job in the mines just to become an educator. She too thought I was making a mistake. But what I realized in hindsight is that at the time, they didn't understand that my purpose had been built. All those hours spent tutoring, all those Saturdays spent running math and science workshops, those countless conversations I had with young people, coaching them with their academics, those were the building blocks that constructed my purpose. Those were the things that helped me construct my vector. You see, many of us are stuck in this myth that purpose is a buried treasure hidden somewhere out there, and if we search hard enough, one day we'll stumble upon it. We believe it's waiting in a career, in a relationship, in a far-off moment of clarity. So we wait. We search, we chase. And in the process, we forget that purpose was never meant to be found. It was meant to be forged. Purpose lives in the daily choices we make, the values we choose not to compromise on, and the people we choose to serve. When you align your magnitude and your direction, you don't just move. You move with clarity, you move with purpose. You lead. So the question I would like to ask you today is this: are you going to wait until you find your purpose? Or are you going to forge your purpose by constructing your vector? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.